Hello children, I am Surya Narayan Hansda, Visit English of JNB Purulia, West Bengal. Today I am going to present the letter writing through PowerPoint presentation meant for CBSE class 9 students. As per the syllabus of CBSE, only informal letter writing on given situations has been included in class 9 syllabus. Therefore, I try to make you understand about the informal letter writing now. Without further go, let's get started. So, welcome to PowerPoint presentation on letter writing. I am Surya Narayan Hasda, PCT English, Jawaharlal Navodaya Vidyalaya, Purulia, West Bengal. First of all, let us know about the introduction of the letter. What do you mean by letter? The most common form of writing communication is the letter. Letter writing is an indispensable activity of human society. Letters are written communications. Letter writing is one of the very effective modes of communication. It is a written message conveyed from one person to another person through mail or post. We write letters to friends and relatives to maintain contact with them. However, in present times, with the boom in methods of communication, many of us don't have the time or inclination or the temperament and the art of writing letter. So, telephone, mobile, various social media platforms, fax, and email have replaced personal letters. However, formal letters are in use of several purposes. Now let us know the types of letter. Basically, a letter is divided into two kinds. One is formal letter and another one is informal letter. So now let us know what are the formal letters and what are the informal letters. The formal letters are written for business or professional purposes with a specific objective in mind. It uses simple language which is easy to read and interpret. Informal letters are written to friends and relatives for personal communication and require a casual or an emotional tone. So, what are the differences between formal letter and informal letter? Formal letters are used for writing letters to business contacts such as partners, suppliers, customers, clients, etc., college or institute, employer, or professionals. The size of a formal letter should be concise, that does not include irrelevant matter. Similarly, informal letters are written to parents, friends, relatives, acquaintances, siblings, etc. The informal letter can be lengthier. The language used is mostly casual and it can also have an emotional undertone to it. Going ahead, we have to know now the different format of informal letter. What is its proper format? Which format is used to write an informal letter? So let us see the first component of an informal letter. The first component is the address of the sender. The very first thing that you need to write is the address of the sender. This is written on the left corner of the paper and is the starting point of the letter. Give your complete address and PIN code is a must. Though it is an informal letter and you are sending it to your friends and relatives, it is essential to write the full address so that the recipient can write back to you. If this letter is for someone staying outside the country, don't forget to mention the country's name. For example, how shall we write the address of the sender? If the address is C52 Sector A, Resma Bihar, Purulia 723103, we have to write this address in the left part of the page. Similarly, the address can also be mentioned as JNB Dabar Balrampur, Purulia, West Bengal 723103. Second component of an informal letter is the date. Next, just below the address, we write the date. This allows the reader to have a reference as to when the informal letter was written. He can then relate better to the contents of the letter. The date, preferably, should be in expanded form. For example, if the date is 3rd July, how shall we write the date? 3rd July 2020, or July 3, then putting comma 2020 is also accepted. Similarly, July 3, 2020 is also the accepted date. But don't write the way of writing the date. For example, 03/07/2020. This is universally not accepted. Therefore, don't try to write this way of writing the date. Now, the third component of the letter is salutation. The greeting can be absolutely informal, like Dear Mom, Dear Alan. If you are writing a letter to someone of your age, you can mention his or her name after Dear. If it is for your mother, uncle, aunt, or anyone senior to you, you need to write Dear Uncle, Dear Dad, etc. You can write Mr. or Mrs. for someone who is elder to you. For example, if you're writing a letter to your teacher to inquire about her health, you can write Dear Mrs. Margaret. Similarly, there are also other examples of writing the salutation like Dear Sonu, Dear Uncle, Dear Mrs. Suruchi. This can also be written as an example. So this is also the way of writing the salutation. Now come to the fourth component of the letter. Fourth one is the introductory paragraph. How shall we start the initial paragraph of the letter? Now we begin writing the actual letter. The introductory paragraph sets the tone for the whole letter. You might begin by asking the recipient about their well-being, or you may say that you hope the letter finds them in good health and great spirits. The opening informal letter should be casual and comforting. It must not be formal and direct as in business letter. For example, we can start the paragraph by some important lines like my happiness knew no bounds when I got to know that. How have you been? I hope my letter finds you in best of health and spirits. It's been a while since I have heard from you. I just heard that you have received a new job. These lines are important to begin the introductory paragraph of an informal letter. Now come to fifth component, that is body of the letter. The letter overall should maintain a friendly tone, but you have to adjust the language and the wordings according to whom you are writing to. With a friend, you can afford to be very casual and flippant even. But if you are writing to an elder relative, you must be extremely respectful and considerate. One way to determine the tonality of your letter is to remember how you talk to the person in a conversation and then apply the same syntax and sentiments to the letter. For example, in the body of the letter, you have to write the main issue about what you are going to write the letter. Then if there are problems in the letter, you have also to mention those problems. Similarly, reasons thereof, and you have to find out the solutions. You have also to write the solutions of the problems, if any, and ultimately you have to write the suggestions of those problems. What are the suggestions that you want to convey through the letter is also necessary to write in the letter. And lastly, you may conclude the letter by writing these important lines like hope to see you soon with lots of love and best wishes. Please pay my regards to your parents. Give my regards to your auntie and uncle. Sixth component of the latter is the subscription. In the conclusive paragraph, some of the reason for writing the latter, that is, summarize the letter, say a meaningful and affectionate goodbye to the reader, and don't forget to invite the reader to write back or reply to your letter. It shows an intention to keep the conversation going. For example, the subscription can be written in the way that yours lovingly, yours affectionately, your loving or your affectionate son or daughter, or yours sincerely, truly, obediently, etc. And the last component of an informal letter is the name and signature. There is no one way to sign off informal letters. Since they don't follow a strict format, you may sign off as you please. For example, if you want to write your name as Krishna, or if the name is mentioned in the question paper, you may write that very name in the letter. And then lastly, let us see one examples of an informal letter writing. Suppose the topic is you are Shivani. Write a letter to your friend describing about your boarding school in about 120 to 150 words. Now the word limits has been increased to 150 to 200 words. So we have to write the letter within that word limit. Suppose the address is C52 Sector A, Resma, Bihar, Purulia 723103. This is the address of the sender, followed by the date, that is June 25, 2020, and the salutation here is Dear Suneli. And the initial paragraph of the letter is how have you been? I hope my letter finds you in the best of health and spirits. It has been almost a month since I transferred to the boarding school. I am very happy in my new school. The classes and the dormitories are very spacious. There are well equipped science laboratories and a library with a great collection of books. The school has amazing sports facilities such as swimming pool, horse riding, track, and archery range. I believe my life here will be interesting and enjoyable. Although I have made many new friends, I still miss you and the other friends. Please pay my regards to your parents, yours sincerely, Shivani. So this is the end of the description of the formal letter writing. I hope you understood it, and my suggestion to you all is to practice letters from the sources that are available everywhere. Thank you very much. Goodbye.